So on this one, once again, we have a front view and a right side view. And you can see that we're creating a angled elbow with this one. The trick of it here is that we're trying to figure out how to make this at a 45 degrees. And then the second thing is that this word true. That's just telling me that the diameter of this is a true diameter of 10. But you can see that all of these created here at the top is going to be created with ellipses. So once we create this side of it, we should be able to get enough information to create the ellipses. So we're going to have to use a little bit of something from both of the views. Alright, so let's go ahead and switch over to AutoCAD and start drafting. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create that rectangle that's along the bottom, or the flange if you like to think of it that way. Go ahead and start with a rectangle. Go ahead and specify your first point, and then my X and Y direction will be 19, and the height of it is 1.3. From this, I will create a line from this midpoint. Then I will go up, let's say a height of 5, then escape. And that 5 is just a random number that I selected. There is nothing on the drawing that specifies that I have to use that. That dimension of a true 10 tells me that the diameter on the inside of this is 10. So I'll offset a distance of 5. And I'll offset this line going to both sides that distance. The outside of this flange is going to be at a distance of 12, or a diameter of 12. So I'll offset a distance of 6 from my same center line here, going to both sides. Let's go ahead and clean this up just a little bit. So I'll go to trim. Then I'll trim off these outside lines here. One other thing that I'm going to do is that I'll go ahead and create the layer for my hidden line. Select new layer, hidden. I tend to like to make the color of my hidden lines red. Select continuous, load, and then scroll down till you find the word hidden. OK, and then select the word hidden, and then go to OK, and then close. Select these two lines as my hidden lines, so I will select them. Select in the drop down. Let's go ahead and make them hidden. Okay, so I have enough information to create just about this much. I do know some information about the ellipses at the top, but I don't have all the information that I need to create those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these objects, select the base point, and make sure that you put it on horizontal, because I want to make it go this direction and I want to keep them in line with each other. I'll pull it away about a distance of 40, and then escape. Now I'll concentrate on this side. What I need to do is give this a mirror point in order to make this a 45 degree. It tells me on the drawing that away from this center here and up will be my halfway distance going across this elbow. Let's go ahead and create a construction line. Select the word angle. Put in the angle that I want it to be. In this case it's 22.5. Enter. Now it's asking me for the location. So at this point I'll shift and right click and choose the word from. Select this endpoint or midpoint. Type in the @ symbol, -13.3, 3.4. Enter, and then escape. This should give me the information that I'm going to need in order to flip this onto that side. Let's go to mirror, I'm only going to select the bottom half here, so I'm using this blue crossing window, and remember, everything that's enclosed will be selected. So once I'm done selecting my objects, hit enter. I need 2 points along this line. Any 2 points, it doesn't matter. So what I like to do is I can either select this perpendicular, as long as it's on this line, or any point that shows up. So any of my green O snaps, I'll select this one. And now I need another point along this line. You can always shift and right click, and you can choose the nearest option. And then select anywhere on that line, left click, and then hit enter. I will go ahead and erase my construction line here. Then I'll put a fillet that has a radius of 7.25. So let's go to fillet, radius 7.25, enter. Select this line and select that line. Let's go back to the fillet command and change our radius to 19.25. Then I'll select these lines along the back side here. For my other fillets or radii that's running along the middle here, I'll use the offset command. Mainly because this radius will not be the same as this radius or this one. You want them all going in a concentric manner. So let's go ahead and go to offset. The distance between here, we can figure it out, but sometimes it's easier to select graphically. So instead of typing in a number, I'm going to select this endpoint and then right to where it's perpendicular to this line, and then that's my distance. So I'll select this arc and click it to the inside here. Then I'll select this arc and click to the inside here. For my radius that goes around here, I'll go back to the fillet command and I'll do the same thing I did before. So I'll go to fillet. No, I'm sorry, not fillet. I'll go to offset. I'll get my distance by selecting this endpoint to this endpoint. I'll select the arc that I just created and click to the inside of it. Then escape. To clean these off, you have these little bitty lines that are crossing these. We should be able to clean them off with EX trim. I'll select this arc and then select on the outside of it. Hit the enter button. Do the same for the next arc, so I'm going to select this arc and I'll select to the right of it. And then enter key one more time, select this radius, and then select on the outside. Let's go ahead and use match properties. Select this hidden line as my source. Then I'm going to select this line and that line. Then escape. I'm going to keep this center line that I have for now. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create an ellipse that's going here. And I'm going to start off with the one that has a radius of 10. Or, sorry, a diameter of 10, which is a true 10. I'll select the drop down, choose construction line, horizontal, select this endpoint and this endpoint, as well as this midpoint. Then escape. I'll extend these lines up to this center. So I'll go to extend. And to get it to go there a lot faster, I will select the word boundary edge. Select this line, enter. And then I'll select my two red lines here. Then escape. Okay, so with this we do have a location of where our ellipse is going to be. We do have this one specified by the axis endpoints. So I'll go to the ellipse and I'll choose axis end. Select this endpoint, to this endpoint. And then I'll go up to where it perpendiculars here. Let's go ahead and erase the top and the bottom line. To create our next ellipse, we're going to go back to the construction line, horizontal. I'll select this endpoint and this endpoint. Then escape. So for the next ones, I need these lines to be extended up to there. But you notice that these are part of a rectangle, so I can't extend them. I can come back to the construction lines, vertical. And I'll select these three endpoints. So I'll select this one, this endpoint, and this endpoint. The reason I selected this endpoint, I'm going to specify this next one by the center. So I wanted to give you both options of the axis endpoint and the center option. So let's go to the ellipse center. Select right where these intersect for my center. Then I can go over to this perpendicular for one of my endpoints. And then I'll go up here to the top for the other endpoint. Escape out of the command. And then let's go ahead and delete. Let's go ahead and delete these lines here. So I'm going to delete these 5 lines. I'm going to purposely leave this one here. Create one more construction line. That's horizontal. I'm going to select this intersection at this midpoint here. Then escape. Copy. I want you to select that ellipse. Enter. Go find the center of that ellipse, which is here. And then bring it down to where it perpendiculars to here. Then escape. And I can also delete my horizontal lines that are going through and the vertical one. Okay, so along the edges here, you have a vanishing edge that shows up. What I'm going to do is and I should have left them on here, but I will create my construction lines again. Make them vertical. I'll choose both of these endpoints. Then escape. Let's use the trim command. I'm going to select my cutting edges will be these 2 ellipses. Enter. And then let's go ahead and trim off these lines here. And then escape. If I zoom in, you can see that this is the line that I just created, and it's going to be one like that on both sides. Let's go ahead and trim. And I'm going to trim off this inside arc here so you can see that this is the line that I have created. I'm going to trim this arc here, and then the arc here. I'll follow that and go take a look at the other side, and you can see where it comes in. There's my line that I have created. So I want to trim at this location. Then escape. Last things I need to do is I need to extend these lines going up to here. So let's go to extend. Then we can start clicking these lines to go up. Last thing I want to do is erase. So let's go to erase. Select this line. And then these 3 over on this side. Okay, so if you have all that done and you kept up, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.